Hi, I'm John Liebman, founder and first baseman of ForBassPlayersOnly.com. I've taken the frustration out of learning bass so you can build confidence, have fun, and just enjoy making music. A lot of people have reached out to me telling me they want to learn bass, but they think they're too old or physically incapable of doing it. I'm going to share some very inspiring stories with you from some people who really wanted to learn bass, and they did, defying some pretty serious odds, surprising a lot of people, including perhaps themselves. Stick around. Are you learning bass right now? Are you getting the results you're after? If not, what's holding you back? And if you're not learning bass right now, what's holding you back? Is it something that can be solved? I've been teaching bass for a long time. Between my books, my online resources, clinics, master classes, webinars, I've helped over 125,000 people learn to play bass. These days, it seems that most of the people I attract are men in their 50s, 60s, 70s who have always wanted to play bass but never got very far with it. At this point in their lives, they may have more time to devote to learning bass, or in some cases they feel like, hey, if I'm ever going to do this, now's the time. And it's exciting for them to think about actually playing some of the music they grew up with and that they still love so much. Usually classic rock from the 60s and 70s, or maybe some blues shuffles, walking bass lines, whatever it is, the music that's most meaningful to them. And what happens when you get into your 60s and 70s? Well, your body's been through a lot, and not everything works quite like it used to. People tell me about having arthritis, which can certainly be a hindrance. I have arthritis. It sucks. But you know, and this is not me giving medical advice, just sharing with you some of what I've been told, that moving the bones is actually a good thing to do when you have arthritis. And I find that to be true, not just with playing bass, but after I get off the elliptical machine, I find my knees hurt less. But whether it's the bass or the elliptical, getting started is sometimes painful, so you have to judge it and see what works for you. Again, not medical advice, just sharing my own experience for what it's worth. I got an email the other day from Tony, an 81-year-old man in the UK who was a professional sax player for over 50 years and has done a lot of amazing things, like playing with Jerry Mulligan, Jimmy Cobb, Wynton Kelly. Whoa! And during COVID, he developed some breathing problems which hindered his saxophone playing ability. Undeterred, Tony bought a bass. He says he loves my lessons and he's having a phenomenal time learning bass. He also says he plays a 5-string fretless, which kind of surprised me, but the point is he found a way to keep going. I don't know how much saxophone he's playing these days, but I'm glad he was able to stay in music. And I'm especially glad he chose the bass. Another one of my students, Jeff, 62 years old from Illinois, is having hip replacement surgery, so he's going to be laid up a little bit. But he's chomping to get back to playing bass, and he's going to do the best he can with it while he's recuperating. Careful, Jeff. I admire your enthusiasm and your love for the bass, but listen to what your body is telling you, and listen to your doctor, and listen to your wife. Another student, Barry from Nashville. I'm not sure how old Barry is, but he's a senior citizen. Barry was a member of the Bottom Line Club and ForBassPlayersOnly.com, learning bass and doing quite well with it. And then one day he canceled abruptly. And I spoke with him recently, and he told me that around the time he canceled, he'd been diagnosed with Parkinson's and didn't really have the head for learning bass or much of anything else. But now he's ready to come back, and he's more eager than ever to learn. And I think it'll be healthy for him, not just musically, but emotionally too. Then there's Joe Daschle down in Florida. Joe, who's pushing 70, was in a garage band in Oregon where he grew up. This was back in the 60s, and they used to play songs by the Beatles, Led Zeppelin. He loved listening to Jack Bruce, too. Joe's bought most of my books, He's been a member of the Bottom Line Club for several years, and he also has my digital masterclass, Power Grooving for Bass Players. Joe is stone deaf. Fortunately, he has cochlear implants which enable him to hear, and he's able to play music, and he's found so much happiness and fulfillment from it. I have more examples, but hopefully you get my point. I don't know you, and I don't know your situation. Some things just can't be fixed, and for other things, maybe there's a workaround. Bill Clements of Michigan lost his right arm in an accident, and you should see what he can do on the bass with just his left hand. Unbelievable. By the way, I've got interviews with Joe and with Bill on forbassplayersonly.com, and I'll link to them under this video. Another fascinating interview is with Mandy Harvey, who is completely deaf. Now, unlike Joe, the doctors couldn't do anything to help Mandy. She wasn't always deaf. She started going deaf around the time she went to college.
Is that you can take that opportunity as a chance to grow, as a chance to change, a chance to understand yourself better.
Mandy plays the bass. She sings. She's amazing. I'll link to her interview too. One more link I have for you is a free video lesson from me called 10 Easy Rock Riffs that you're going to love, especially if you're over 50 and parts of you hurt. Check it out. It's free. As always, I'd love to know your thoughts, so leave a comment below and let me know what's on your mind regarding the subject. Are you struggling with something that's holding you back from playing bass? If so, how are you dealing with it? I really want to hear from you. And of course, be sure to subscribe to the For Bass Players Only YouTube channel. There is a lot of helpful stuff right here for anyone who likes bass and who likes learning bass. I've taken the frustration out of learning bass so you can build confidence, have fun, and just enjoy making music. That's all for now. I'll see you next week. I'm John Liebman. Let's play bass.